INFJs, the rarest of the 16 Myers-Briggs personality types, are known for their compassion, deep insight, and ability to understand others on an almost intuitive level. Dubbed the advocate or counselor, INFJs are often idealized as empathetic and wise individuals who seek to make the world a better place. However, like all personality types, INFJs have a shadow side, a darker, more complex aspect of their character that is less talked about. While their strengths are often highlighted, their weaknesses can create deep internal struggles and challenges in relationships. In this note, we'll explore the lesser-known, darker traits of the INFJ personality. We'll dive into the inner conflicts, emotional turbulence, and self-destructive tendencies that can accompany their idealism and empathy. This examination aims to provide a fuller understanding of the INFJ, offering insights into the parts of themselves they might struggle with, and how they can learn to balance these traits. 1. Perfectionism and unrealistic expectations. At the core of an INFJ's personality lies an idealistic vision of the world and a strong desire to improve it. While this makes them driven and purpose-focused, it also leads to perfectionism. INFJs set extremely high standards for themselves and others, which can result in dissatisfaction, self-criticism, and frustration when reality doesn't align with their ideals. INFJs often become disappointed with themselves or the people around them when their lofty goals aren't met. Their perfectionism can turn inward, making them hypercritical and leading to burnout. In relationships, their expectations of others may feel unattainable, which can create distance and frustration when they are let down by the imperfections of those they care about. Learning to accept imperfection as part of life and practicing self-compassion can help INFJs soften their critical tendencies. It's important to acknowledge that growth and progress, not perfection, are the real goals. 2. The struggle with emotional overload. INFJs are highly empathetic and emotionally attuned to the people around them. They can sense and absorb the feelings of others, often to the point of feeling overwhelmed. Their emotional depth allows them to connect with people on a profound level, but it also makes them vulnerable to emotional overload. Being so deeply connected to the emotions of others can cause INFJs to carry burdens that aren't theirs to bear. They may find it difficult to separate their feelings from those of the people around them, which can lead to anxiety, emotional exhaustion, and even depression. This emotional burden is particularly heavy for INFJs because they often hide their own pain in an attempt to help others. INFJs need to practice setting emotional boundaries. It's crucial for them to recognize when they are overextending themselves emotionally and to take time for self-care. Journaling, meditation, or spending time alone can help INFJs process their emotions without feeling overwhelmed. 3. Self-isolation and loneliness. INFJs are introverts who need a significant amount of alone time to recharge. However, their deep need for connection and understanding can make them feel isolated when they are unable to find people who truly get them. This paradox often leads to a cycle of loneliness and self-isolation. INFJs are often seen as mysterious and private, which can make it hard for others to get close to them. Despite their desire for meaningful relationships, they can struggle with vulnerability and may push people away when they feel misunderstood or emotionally overwhelmed. Over time, this can lead to chronic feelings of loneliness, even in the presence of others. INFJs should work on gradually opening up to trusted friends or loved ones. Sharing their true thoughts and feelings with others, rather than withdrawing, can help them build stronger, more fulfilling connections. It's also important for INFJs to recognize that vulnerability is a strength, not a weakness. 4. Internalizing negative emotions. Due to their deep sensitivity, INFJs are prone to internalizing negative emotions. They often avoid conflict, preferring to keep the peace, which means they may suppress their own feelings or let issues fester rather than addressing them head-on. Suppressing emotions can lead to resentment, passive-aggressive behavior, or emotional outbursts. Over time, these bottled-up feelings can affect an INFJ's mental and emotional health, leading to anxiety or even physical symptoms like headaches or fatigue. Additionally, avoiding conflict can prevent INFJs from resolving important issues in their relationships, leaving them feeling trapped or dissatisfied. It's essential for INFJs to learn healthy ways to express their emotions. Practicing assertive communication and acknowledging their feelings, rather than burying them, can prevent emotional buildup. Conflict doesn't have to be destructive, it can be an opportunity for growth and deeper understanding in relationships. 5. Overthinking and rumination. Overthinking is one of the hallmark tendencies of the INFJ personality. With their highly analytical and introspective nature, INFJs often find themselves caught in cycles of deep thought, reflection, and, sometimes, rumination. While their ability to analyze situations deeply and consider multiple perspectives is a strength, it can quickly spiral into a destructive habit when left unchecked. INFJs have a dominant cognitive function called introverted intuition, (NI), which allows them to see connections, patterns, and hidden meanings in the world around them. This ability enables them to perceive things in ways others may not, but it can also lead to an overwhelming amount of internal processing. As a result, INFJs are prone to dwelling on past experiences, relationships, or decisions, replaying events in their minds in an effort to make sense of them. Their secondary cognitive function, extroverted feeling, (FE), drives them to be acutely aware of the emotional states of those around them, further fueling their overthinking tendencies. They may constantly second-guess how their words or actions impacted someone else or overanalyze social interactions to ensure they didn't unintentionally cause harm or offense. The combination of these two functions often leads INFJs to obsess over what could have been said or done differently in a given situation. Overthinking and rumination can lead to mental and emotional exhaustion. When INFJs become trapped in their own thoughts, it creates a loop of self-doubt and anxiety. This habit prevents them from taking action or making decisions, as they fear making the wrong choice or upsetting someone. It can also cause them to overanalyze trivial matters, magnifying problems that may not even exist. Rumination often focuses on negative thoughts or outcomes, leading to a downward spiral that affects I.N.F.J.'s mood, mental health, and self-esteem. In extreme cases, this overthinking can lead to indecisiveness and procrastination, preventing them from moving forward in life. INFJs may also miss out on opportunities because they are too caught up in trying to perfect every detail in their minds before taking action. In personal relationships, overthinking can cause unnecessary tension and conflict. INFJs may replay conversations or analyze their partner's behavior, searching for hidden meanings or potential problems. This can lead to paranoia or assumptions about a partner's intentions, even when there is no real issue. In friendships, INFJs might hesitate to speak up or express their true feelings for fear of being misunderstood or causing conflict, which can lead to a lack of authenticity and frustration in their connections. INFJs must learn to recognize when their deep thinking shifts from healthy reflection to harmful rumination. Practicing mindfulness is one way to combat overthinking. Techniques like grounding exercises, focusing on the present moment, or engaging in meditation can help INFJs break the cycle of excessive mental processing. Another effective strategy is cognitive reframing, where INFJs challenge their overthinking by questioning the validity of their assumptions. For instance, if they are overanalyzing a social interaction, they can ask themselves, is there any real evidence that the other person was upset? Or is this a productive thought, or is it just my mind spiraling? By stepping back and evaluating their thoughts logically, INFJs can reduce the intensity of their mental loops. INFJs may also benefit from journaling. Writing down their thoughts can help externalize and organize their ideas, providing clarity and relieving the mental burden of carrying everything internally. Additionally, engaging in creative outlets like art, music, or writing can allow INFJs to channel their overthinking into productive, expressive activities. Ultimately, INFJs should work on accepting that not everything needs to be perfect or deeply analyzed. Learning to let go of the need to control every outcome and embracing the uncertainty of life can help INFJs free themselves from the mental cage of overthinking. 6. People-pleasing tendencies. One of the more challenging aspects of being an INFJ is their strong inclination toward people-pleasing. INFJs are deeply empathetic and compassionate individuals, driven by an innate desire to help others and maintain harmony in their relationships. Their ability to tune into others' emotions and needs makes them natural caretakers, often leading them to prioritize others' happiness over their own. While this trait can be seen as a strength, it often morphs into unhealthy people-pleasing behaviors that can leave INFJs drained, unfulfilled, and disconnected from their true selves. INFJs are governed by their extroverted feeling, (FE), function, which makes them highly attuned to the emotions and needs of those around them. They are deeply concerned with maintaining social harmony and ensuring that the people in their lives feel understood, supported, and validated. This intense emotional awareness can make them hypersensitive to any signs of discomfort or conflict in their relationships. As a result, INFJs will go to great lengths to avoid tension, often sacrificing their own needs, desires, or opinions in order to keep the peace. INFJs also have a strong desire to be seen as kind, empathetic, and moral individuals, which can drive them to act in ways that please others, even if it goes against their true feelings. Their idealism pushes them to help and support people, often believing that they are responsible for others' well-being. This self-imposed obligation to care for others can make it difficult for INFJs to set boundaries or say no, as they fear being seen as selfish or uncaring. While their desire to help and please others comes from a good place, INFJs often end up overextending themselves. Constantly putting others' needs before their own can lead to emotional exhaustion, burnout, and feelings of resentment. Over time, they may begin to feel unappreciated or taken for granted, especially if their efforts to please others aren't reciprocated or acknowledged. This can leave INFJs feeling invisible, undervalued, or even used. Another issue with people-pleasing is that it can cause INFJs to lose touch with their authentic selves. In their pursuit of harmony, they may suppress their own opinions, desires, or emotions, leading to a lack of authenticity in their relationships. Over time, this can create a deep sense of internal conflict, as INFJs struggle with balancing their true selves with the version of themselves they feel others expect them to be. Additionally, people-pleasing tendencies can lead to unhealthy, codependent relationships. INFJs may attract people who rely on their kindness and emotional support without offering anything in return. This dynamic can trap INFJs in toxic or one-sided relationships where they feel responsible for others' happiness at the expense of their own. In personal relationships, people-pleasing can cause INFJs to avoid confrontation, even when it's necessary. They may go along with things they disagree with or stay silent about issues that bother them in order to avoid upsetting their partner, friend, or family member. Over time, this avoidance can breed resentment and emotional distance, as unresolved issues build up beneath the surface. In friendships, INFJs might find themselves always being the one who listens, supports, and helps, without receiving the same level of care in return. In romantic relationships, this pattern can be even more damaging. INFJs might sacrifice their own needs or desires in an effort to keep their partner happy, leading to a loss of individuality and balance in the relationship. Over time, they may feel unfulfilled or trapped in a dynamic where their partner's needs are always prioritized over their own. INFJs need to learn the importance of setting boundaries and recognizing that they are not responsible for the happiness or emotional well-being of everyone around them. It's crucial for them to understand that saying no or asserting their own needs does not make them selfish or unkind. Setting healthy boundaries is a form of self-care, and it allows INFJs to protect their energy and well-being without compromising their empathy or compassion. Another key strategy for overcoming people-pleasing tendencies is practicing assertive communication. INFJs often struggle with being direct, fearing that they will hurt others or create conflict. However, learning to express their needs, opinions, and feelings in a clear and respectful manner can help them maintain authenticity in their relationships while still honoring their values. INFJs should also work on building self-worth that is independent of external validation. People-pleasing often stems from a desire to be liked or accepted by others. By cultivating self-love and recognizing their inherent worth, INFJs can break free from the need to constantly please others for approval. It's also helpful for INFJs to regularly check in with themselves and ask, "Am I doing this because I want to, or because I feel obligated to?" This self-reflection can help them identify when they are falling into people-pleasing habits and make more conscious choices that align with their true desires and values. 7. Struggle with letting go. INFJs are known for their loyalty and dedication, often holding on to relationships, projects, or ideals long after they have become unhealthy or unproductive. Their tendency to see the potential in people and situations can make it hard for them to let go, even when it's clear that something isn't working. Holding on too long can prevent INFJs from moving forward and creating space for new opportunities. In relationships, this may mean staying in toxic or unfulfilling dynamics out of a sense of duty or hope for change. In their personal lives, INFJs may cling to outdated ideals or dreams, even when they no longer align with their true selves. INFJs can benefit from practicing acceptance and learning to recognize when it's time to let go. Understanding that not all relationships or situations are meant to last can help them move on with grace. They should remind themselves that letting go is not a failure but a natural part of growth and evolution. 8. The dark side of empathy. While empathy is one of the INFJ's greatest strengths, it also has a dark side. INFJs can become so absorbed in the emotions of others that they neglect their own needs or lose their sense of self. This hyper-empathy can lead to emotional exhaustion and even codependent relationships. INFJs may feel responsible for the happiness or well-being of others, often taking on emotional burdens that are not theirs to carry. This can create a cycle of self-sacrifice, where they give too much of themselves in an attempt to fix others, only to end up drained and unfulfilled. It's important for INFJs to recognize that they cannot solve everyone's problems, and that they are not responsible for the emotions of others. Practicing emotional detachment and learning to distinguish between their own feelings and those of others can help prevent emotional burnout. 9. Fear of rejection and abandonment. INFJs value deep, meaningful relationships, but their fear of rejection or abandonment can cause them to become overly protective of their emotions. They may hesitate to open up or fully commit to relationships, fearing that they will be hurt or left behind. This fear can create distance in relationships, as INFJs may hold back parts of themselves or avoid vulnerability. In some cases, they may even sabotage relationships out of fear of getting too close. Over time, this fear of rejection can lead to a pattern of emotional withdrawal, making it difficult for INFJs to experience true intimacy. INFJs need to confront their fears of rejection by gradually opening up to trusted individuals. Building emotional resilience and recognizing that rejection is a natural part of life can help INFJs move past their fear and embrace vulnerability. 10. The need for control. INFJs often feel a deep need to control their environment and the people around them. This desire for control stems from their fear of unpredictability and chaos. While this can manifest in positive ways, such as being highly organized or taking on leadership roles, it can also lead to manipulation or overbearing behavior. The need for control can cause INFJs to micromanage situations or relationships, leading to conflict and frustration. Their desire for things to go according to plan can make them inflexible and resistant to change. In relationships, this need for control may push others away or create power struggles. INFJs can benefit from learning to embrace uncertainty and let go of the need to control every outcome. Trusting others and allowing things to unfold naturally can create a more harmonious and balanced approach to life. Understanding the dark side to embrace the whole self. While INFJs are often celebrated for their empathy, insight, and idealism, it's important to recognize and address the darker aspects of their personality. By understanding these challenges, such as perfectionism, emotional overload, and the struggle with vulnerability, INFJs can work towards greater self-awareness and balance. If you're an INFJ, embracing both your light and dark sides is crucial for personal growth. By acknowledging your weaknesses, you can learn to manage them and prevent them from overshadowing your strengths. Remember, it's not about being perfect, it's about being whole. Let us know in the comments if you relate to any of these darker traits, and feel free to share your own experiences. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the INFJ personality, don't forget to like and share the video.